Hello, Sagittariuses, and welcome to your June 2021 reading. It's been a while since I've done some zodiac readings, but I was laid up this week. I had a bit of a gardening accident. Actually, my first words of wisdom to you this month are do not garden in open-toed shoes, okay? Wear closed-toed shoes, my friends. All right, so June is going to be a big month, okay? I know the end of May was probably a big month for a lot of people. There was that super blood moon, and it packed a lot of energy into it and a lot of releasing energy. It was a high packed energy of releasing yourself from old beliefs, old patterns, old thoughts, old cycles, whatever the case may be. But it was a very, very intense releasing kind of energy that came with that full moon. Now, as we move into June, we have an eclipse actually within the on the 10th, and this is really again sparking and inspiring transformation within our lives. So that is what I felt very compelled to do readings on this week. So let's get into it. We're using the Wild Unknown tarot for you guys. We're going to start pulling out some tarot. We're going to clarify the tarot. We're going to get a few oracle cards out as well. And then we're going to finish with an oracle message as well. So this is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Maybe you just have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. Keep in mind it is a collective reading. So certainly not all the messages are going to fit for everybody. Take what fits, leave the rest. If you do find this at another time, trust that it found you when it was meant to find you, okay? This is for Sagittarius spirit for June 2021. What message do you have today for Sagittariuses? All right. Let's see. Sagittariuses, June 2021. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords upright. And the Page of Swords upright. Wow. Transition taking place this month. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Son of Wands. How is this transformation positively changing? We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Six of Swords. Ooh, and the Nine of Pentacles. And how this transition may be challenging Sagittarius says, how would this transition be challenging the Sagittarius? Thank you. We have the Two of Cups. Wow. Two of Cups. Ten of Swords. Father of Swords. Okay, well, Sagittarius, let's see. So current energy, we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Mother of Swords, and the Daughter of Swords. For some of you, this Ten of Pentacles in reverse can be talking about financial hardships, maybe some instability, maybe there's a breakup within your family, maybe there's a recent breakup within your family. The Mother of Swords is divine feminine clarity. Okay, the Mother of Swords is divine feminine energy, and when we're talking about swords, we're talking about intellect, communication, that higher thinking. Okay, Page of Swords is new beginnings and new understandings. I love how within this depiction you can see all these bright ideas kind of floating around her. You see, and she's holding on to this sword here because she's going to cut the ideas that aren't going to serve her. Her inner guidance. Okay, she's going to cut ideas that aren't going to work for her going forward. She's only really going to go forward here with ideas that not only inspire her but actually move her forward in life. You see, and when this Ten of Pentacles is in a reverse energy, I feel that could be that you could be struggling with that a little bit right now. All right, let's see. Why is this Ten of Pentacles in reverse in current energy? We have the Father of Cups. Wow, and we have the World. There's some sort of completion here, okay? The World energy is all about something coming to a completion. The World energy is the ending of the major arcana. And with the King of Cups here, you know, the King of Cups, that's masculine energy. So again, that's talking about action, right? Action energy, masculine action energy. And when it's referring to the cups, this is, to me, very much talking about that masculine energy, with inside of self that's directly related to your emotions, right? Directly related to your spiritual side. Now, for some of you, I mean, if this is talking about some sort of family situation, it can certainly be talking about some sort of water sign, and maybe this is, the ending to that water sign, to that relationship with that water sign for sure. But I do feel like I feel like this connection, why this Ten of Pentacles is in reverse, is because the current energy here is that you're getting connected to the emotions that are directly related to this kind of family source. And I feel that there's kind of been probably some imbalance and maybe some hardship, maybe some miscommunication, maybe again, for some of you, maybe that family unit did fall apart. But you see, it's where you're coming to the understanding of the completion to whatever that cycle is. Okay? I feel like emotionally you are really actually putting into action the steps to finalize that that distorted kind of energy, whether it's a family energy or it's just fulfillment, prosperity within your own. The Queen of Swords was clarified by the Six of Wands. Sorry, the Father of Wands and the Six of Wands. You see, in this Queen of Swords, it's interesting that there's so much masculine energy coming out, because currently, Sagittarius, I do feel like you're being asked, in this current energy, you're being asked to make some action steps here. Okay, and the Queen of Swords, again, as we were discussing, that's that divine feminine intuitive energy where she's getting very crystal clear on her thinking. Okay, she's listening to that intuition of self, and she's getting her mind connected to what that intuition is saying. Okay, she's very clear. There's not miscommunication between her intuition and her head right now. And see, what's clarifying that is that Father of Wands, which is your divine masculine energy here, and the Six of Wands. And that Father of Wands is somebody who really stands into their own passion, stands into their own authenticity. The Six of Wands is that liberation of self, when you stand into that authentic side of self, you see. And I feel like Sagittarius, you're getting clear on who it is. Okay, and maybe you're communicating that. Maybe your intuition is telling you this is who you are. This is what you've come from. This is all that you stand for. And your mind is really getting on board with that kind of understanding too, right? That, because oftentimes we can really get lost. We can feel one thing in our heart, but our mind can tell us something totally different, because our mind was designed to keep us safe, right? That mind is designed as our survival mechanism. So our mind and our heart do not think the same, okay? Our heart is here to learn its soul's, our heart is here to learn its purpose, okay? And that purpose isn't always a safe one. Like that purpose of self, and that purpose of the lessons within our lives, that puts our souls through tests, okay? And our brain doesn't like tests like that, because that's not safe. Right? So our mind and our heart don't necessarily always think on the same page. But when this Queen of Swords is in the upright energy, and she is clarified by the Father of Wands as well as that Six of Wands, that is that clarity, that's that truth of self, that's that purpose and that authenticity shining through, and very much connecting to the thoughts of self here. Okay. And the Page of Swords on the end here, this Daughter of Swords, this is learning the new cycles. This is learning the new ways, learning those new thought patterns, learning that new way of thinking, right? Going forward and being open here to new understandings. Wow. High Priestess. Wow, High Priestess and Mother of Pentacles. Interesting how many kings and queens are coming out in this first line. But this High Priestess is that intuition. That High Priestess is learning to listen, be present and see beyond the veil, right? Connecting to the intuition, connecting to that divine feminine energy within inside of self. And Mother of Pentacles is actually putting that into tangible work. Okay, putting that kind of manifestation and co-creating with spirit actual into tangible aspects within your life. Really putting that new way of thinking and that new growth of self into actual action. Okay, still very much connecting here to divine, to the divine feminine energy, to that intuitive side of self, and especially when that Queen of Pentacles comes out with the High Priestess, because here you are learning all of these new ways. You are learning a new way, not only to nurture Yeah, very much to nurture self. You know, I feel like you're very much learning to nurture this new intuitive side of self. Okay? And allowing that side of self to have a platform to stand on. Okay? Like a structure to stand on here. So what's the transformation here that's taking place? We have the Six of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Son of Wands. Again, Sagittarius, it's so much about you standing in your authenticity. Okay? The Six of Cups is about the reflection. Okay? The reflection of the roots that it is taking you to become the being that you are. Okay, and some of those roots are going to be planted in fairly shallow soil, and they're not going to be, you know, very much contributing to the growth of self. And others are going to be deep, and they're going to be planted in, you know, in emotions and lives and dreams that you have had, right? And see this Nine of Wands following that Six of Cups, because the Six of Cups is about that reflection through life. Okay, it's about really where you've come through the healing, and now you're going forward and acknowledging all the good and the bad that you've had in your life, and how that's, you know, how it's been a blessing and how you're going forward. And see, that's that transition. And for some, it can be really hard to get on board with, like, well, how can the negative parts of my life be a positive blessing? But when you really do that kind of healing within inside of self, that Six of Cups is implying, you see that the silver lining. Right? You see the silver lining of how, yes, you did go through hardships, but yes, those hardships still contributed to the beautiful blessing that we do call life. And that Nine of Wands is that understanding that you have come from the hardships. You know, it hasn't been easy. The lessons haven't been easy. The trials and the tribulations haven't been light. The burdens haven't been easy. But it's the acknowledgement, like it's kind of like that wounded warrior where you've come from the battlefield and you're scarred, but yet still grateful that you made it through the lessons. You know what I mean? And through those lessons here, that's why the Son of Wands is after them, because the Son of Wands, after you've come through that lesson and you've had some time to really sort out all that you've been through, that's that I stand for something now. I know what I'm worth. I know what I can, I know, you know, what I'm made of. I know authentically who I am, right? And I feel, Sagittarius, that this is so much of what this transformation is for you. It's very much coming from the hardships of where you have been into who you have become through those lessons. You know, such a beautiful energy. Let's see. Why is the Six of Cups? Yep. See, Six of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Wands, which is again about letting your little light shine, letting this authenticity just really come out. And I love how these wands on the side just kind of fall to the side, because this is the haters. This is the naysayers. Okay. This is the people in your life that told you you weren't, maybe you weren't going to be what you want to be, or you weren't, enough of whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, that list goes on and on, but this is where you truly acknowledge that light within inside of self, that divine light that was given to you, and understand that, wait a minute, I was created in this own unique way. I was given this own unique spark to shine, like authentically. When you show up to shine who you are, who you've been divinely made, that's your purpose. That's your way. And it doesn't matter what the haters and the naysayers say, because they're not the creator, right? Your power here is in choosing that you are going to show up for yourself, that you are going to show up authentically, because you were made the way you were made, right? You were made the way you were made because you were made to show up authentically to that. Okay? Nine of Wands. Why is this Nine of Wands? What's in this Nine of Wands? Five of Swords and the Magician. See, I feel like you've talked yourself out of your power, Sagittarius. I feel like within your life, you've probably like said, I'm not meant to have more than this, or, you know, I almost feel like you've caged yourself in here. And that caging could have come because other people originally started trying to cage you in here. Other people told you that you weren't powerful, or you weren't, you know, going to be this strong individual, or whatever the case may be. Other people dimmed your light is what happened. Okay. And somewhere along the line, you believed it, and then you started telling yourself that bullshit. Okay, and the transition here is that you're acknowledging that bullshit that you've told yourself and that others have told you. You're acknowledging that, wait a minute, I made it through fucking Jurassic Park because I'm kick-ass, because I am strong, because I am determined, because I am resilient, right? You are the powerhouse here, okay? You are. And that's what this transition so greatly is for you, Sagittarius, is how much of a powerhouse you truly are. I think it's just that self-awareness to how strong you really are. Why is the Son of Wands here in this transition? Yeah, Five of Wands. Okay, this transition may not be an easy one for you, Sagittarius. It may feel very conflicting within this month. You may be up a lot against, you may feel like, okay, like, why am I up against all these walls? Like, why are the things that challenge me? Why do I keep getting hit with them again and again? Because you're growing past them. That's what Spirit's asking you. And saying, okay, well, these patterns are going to keep coming back up into your face until you grow past them. Your soul is here. Like, your soul made all of these contracts on its way down and said, look, this is what I need to learn in this lifetime. And until you acknowledge those growths and you acknowledge that kind of process within your life, right? You're going to keep repeating it. But this is what this transition is here. Because you are standing for something. And within that standing for self, within that standing for your own uniqueness and your own authenticity, that's that leveling up. I don't feel that has been something you've done, Sagittarius, which is so weird because you are this bright, beautiful fire sign. Like, you burn like nobody else. And yet I feel, Sagittarius, for some of you, that as much as you've wanted to burn and you've wanted to show the world, like, this is who I am, there was those cages somewhere along the way, and you were like, I don't want to burn anybody with my light, right? Well, don't worry about that. You're meant to shine, honey. You're meant to shine, okay? All right, how is this transition supporting you? Well, we have the 7 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, and the 9 of Pentacles. And this transition is supporting you because there's options coming before you. There's going to be, as you stand in your own authenticity, all of a sudden you're going to see these options before you, and you're going to have to really choose, well, what ones are going to serve me? What ones are going to fulfill me? And that's not going to be an easy process, okay? You are in this transition energy. Okay, and the transition energy is that Spirit is here. Like, the blessing of this transition energy is that Spirit is here. Spirit is guiding your boat, no matter which way you are going. Okay, Spirit is guiding you here. But no buds. there is no buds. Spirit is guiding you, and finding this fulfillment in self here is definitely a huge supporting factor. Wow, 7 of Cups clarified by the Lovers. Isn't that interesting? The Lovers is originally was a choice card. Now, for some of you, it could certainly be talking about some sort of love. Maybe for some of you, there's different options. But I really want to talk about the choice in that Lover's energy, because you see, this is what's supporting you here is when you choose self. Okay, so the hierarchy of power, I need to break this down for you. So the hierarchy of power goes yourself, the creator, and others. And you have to hold yourself to that hierarchy. Okay, it's very important that we hold that hierarchy of power within our own life, because we have to choose to do divine will, and we have to choose to serve others. We have to make the choice to love others, and that has to be our choice. Because if it's not our choice, then we are not doing that authentically, right? And in order to go forward here, Sagittarius, you authentically must be going forward, living your life, okay? So the choices that you make right now, in the cups that you are going to choose, okay, they have to be ones that authentically you are choosing, okay? And not out of any other... Not out of, well, I'm making this choice because it's going to serve this person, or it's going to serve this person, or it's going to serve this person, right? No. I'm making this choice because this is what I choose. This is what I am wanting to choose. This is what my soul is guiding me to choose. Okay? 6 of Swords. Why is this 6 of Swords positively supporting? Fool. New beginning. Absolutely. That's why this transformation's here. Okay, that's why the rocky waters are here, is because right now you are beginning a new cycle, very much like this Fool. You're the new little ducky, okay, ready to jump off. And you know what? This duck's going to jump into the water and know how to swim, okay? And you're going to jump into this new beginning, and you are going to know how to swim, because Spirit's just going to show you. Spirit's going to be there, and Spirit's going... And that's the thing about our authenticity. Sometimes we fear that, well, if we jump into this authentic being, we're not going to know what to do. Right? How can we show up authentically? Well, let me tell you, that's part of who you are. Just like that little ducky, you're just going to swim. Okay? That authenticity, when you allow it the space to actually become who you are, that's who you naturally are meant to be. It's going to take over, and you're going to, you're going to just swim like that little ducky. Okay? 9 of Pentacles. How is this 9 of Pentacles? Wow. The Judgment, the Daughter of Wands, the Temperance, and the Daughter of Cups. New beginnings. Wow. This 9 of Pentacles energy, this is about self-fulfillment. Okay, and with self-fulfillment comes self-accountability, because we have to be accountable for the energies that we are putting within our life. We have to be accountable for the energies that we are bringing into our life and that we are allowing to remain in our circle. You know, we have to fulfill ourselves. Otherwise, we will be codependent. You see, and here is this, the judgment is about that karmic kind of like the divine shining light on you. You know, that karmic happiness coming to be. The daughter of pentacles here, sorry, the daughter of wands here, this is the new beginning. This is a new cycle. We have the temperance behind that, and the temperance is about learning patience and balance. You know, understanding the need to balance that divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy, the water essence and the fire essence in our life, the intuition and the action. Right? And here, another daughter of cups. There's new beginnings in everything that you are wanting to do right now. Within the self-fulfillment, within new relationships, within new emotional opportunities. You know, for some of you, you could be very much looking into new relationships here. And these new relationships are going to be prosperous when you can show up authentically to them. Because if you can't show up authentically, it won't be for you. Right? And interesting enough, the Two of Cups is the first challenging, why this transition could be challenging. Because for some of you, it's going to call you to walk away. And I feel like, because for some of you, it doesn't necessarily need to be romantic relationships, but there's relationships within your life that you are unable to authentically show up to. You're unable to be true self in. Whether it's because they don't appreciate true self, maybe it's because they're afraid of that true self within you, right? Because when you shine that kind of light, it makes them, now that is a them problem. That's not a you problem. But your light will oftentimes, when you show up authentically, shining that light, you will terrify people who are afraid to show up authentically. You will terrify anybody who doubts themselves. Because that level of confidence inside of self, that definitely is the first thing to knock those who are struggling with self-confidence. That'll be the first thing that knocks them down. All right, let's see. Why is this Two of Cups here? Why is this a challenging energy? Why could this be challenging, this transformation? Wow, we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, so for some of you, I mean, you got to get real with some relationships that aren't going to work. And again, that doesn't have to just be romantically. It certainly can be. But there's relationships, when the Chariot comes out in reverse, I mean, there's some sort of emotional connection here that is restraining you from going forward. Okay, you're giving, whether you're giving too much energy or you're needing somebody to give you too much energy or you're not fulfilling yourself, I don't know. But there is some sort of there's some sort of blending here, okay, blending of energies here, that's not going to serve you, okay, that's not helping you go forward. And that Ten of Swords behind it, well, what can be challenging is to have to cut it, is to have to walk away from it. Holy smokes, yeah, okay, Sagittarius. Yeah, for some of you, you have to cut that. You have to cut that beginning. You know, that Ten of Swords and that Eight of Cups, there's emotions here. There's some sort of emotional baggage here with some sort of toxic underlying issues here, whether it's thinking or whatever, but you got to let that go. And I can see why it's a challenge here, absolutely, but you got to get really crystal clear on the actions that you need to take here. And the King of Swords, you know, he's somebody who does a lot of thinking. He connects to his soul. He connects to his intuition. He connects to the lessons. And then he acknowledges the things that he has to cut out of life. Okay? People, places, whatever, the thoughts, it doesn't matter. Okay? If it is going to harm his growth and his forward movement, it's not welcome in his space. And Sagittarius, you really got to stand up for yourself on that one. Okay? If it's hindering your growth and it's hindering your forward movement, what are you doing, love? And I'm not here to tell anybody what they need to do, but I am here to ask you to sit with yourself. I am here to, you know, definitely spark those thoughts within inside of your own noodle. The self-accountability, absolutely. How is this transition? Oh, actually, let's clarify this Father of Swords. This Father of Swords, why is this Father of Swords challenging? Wheel of Fortune, which is your own card too. Why is this Father of Swords challenging? Because I feel like you know what you need to do for self. You know what you need to do here to shift the wheels, you know, to move with life here. And for some of you, maybe it's a challenge because the wheels do need to shift. And sometimes that Father of Swords doesn't like shifting. Okay? Maybe you're set in your ways and you don't want the change to happen, but in order for the new beginnings to actually take place and have a place within your life, you have to allow the shifting to take place. Okay? How is this transition affecting divine feminine energy? Thank you, Spirit. The Knight of Swords and the Devil. Yeah, you see, I feel like your intuition, this divine feminine energy within side of self, Sagittarius, is ready to move. Okay, it is. The Knight of Swords here, the Son of Swords, this is the Knight of Swords, and that's fast moving. Okay, that's feeling like Spirit is guiding you just to cut the shit out of your life that isn't going to serve you. And when the Devil follows that, I mean, that can be substance abuse, that can be it can be addiction, again, to substance, people, thought patterns, whatever the case may be, lifestyles, right? Two of Swords and Ten of Wands. You know, this transition is affecting the divine feminine energy because there's been this stalemate within her intuition, in which there was toxic patterns, toxic cycles, things that were keeping her stuck, burdens that were weighing down heavy on this divine feminine energy that needed to be cut, that hasn't. Okay, that there's been this stalemate in going forward and releasing these burdens. Okay, there's been a stalemate in allowing Spirit to divinely guide you here in this next step. Now, how is this transition affecting divine masculine energy? Wow, Queen of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. You see, here again, this is that divine feminine energy of self, Sagittarius. And I do feel like this divine feminine energy within you is speaking so loudly right now. I wonder if we have all the queens out. We don't. We're missing the Queen of Water. You know, this divine masculine energy here is really looking to connect again to that authentic side of self, again to the intuition. You know, there's work that still needs to be done. I feel that there has been seeds that have been planted for new opportunities to grow. And right now it's that commitment to that growth, to that change within inside of life, to those new opportunities, right? To the new cups of opportunity. I feel like for some of you, it is releasing yourself from maybe it's a relationship that's already done within the past, but you've somewhat held on to it. And you've somewhat held on to, you know, the pain that came along with it, or whatever the case may be. But I do feel that there is this need here to really break yourself free from those toxic beliefs, whatever they may be, from those toxic patterns. Maybe it is still a relationship that you need to cut yourself from, but Sagittarius, it's time to really step into what you need to do from self. Yeah, look at this. Meditate and contemplate for that divine feminine energy, as well as confidence is your key to success, and be bold and make the first move. And for divine masculine energy here, we have the new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. Balance spirituality and practicality. That's the new moon, or the full moon in Pisces. That's interesting. You got the new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Pisces. And adjustments are required, right? And that's known. Sagittarius, it is. Step out of your comfort zone actually is on the bottom of that. And I feel like I need to point that out too, because you do need to step out of your comfort zone, Sagittarius, to embark on this new growth. Okay, this isn't going to be an easy growth process, because for some of you, it's going to require letting go of certain things. And for others of you, it's going to require really stepping into that authentic side of self. Now, what is Spirit's advice going forward here? Thank you, Spirit. We have... There's something turned over, I thought, in this deck as well, but I don't see it now. Maybe not. Turned back. Okay, so we have the Father of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Wands. You know, here is that new beginning. Here is that... We're going to get one more, too. And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, here's that new beginning. And for some of you, it may be something that you're like, I just don't see it. I don't see this new passionate beginning. But the King of Pentacles here is saying, Spirit's asking you to just keep showing up. Okay, put one foot in front of the other, be dedicated and determined and resilient to the changes you want to see in life. Okay, the Ace of Wands, that new spark of opportunity. Okay, this is something that Spirit is really opening and gifting you. And maybe you can't see that new beginning yet. Maybe you don't see how it's all going to work out yet, but have faith. Okay, have faith here, my beautiful friends. All right, let's pull we're going to use the Angels and Ancestors Oracle here. This is a deck by Kyle Gray, and I'm going to pull a card from this and read that one from the book. That's really your message here to go forward. What Spirit's guidance and advice is going forward. Spirit, what is your guidance and advice for Sagittarius going forward this month of June? What is your guidance and advice for Sagittarius going this month? What is your final advice for the Sagittariuses? Thank you, Spirit. Hermit. Wow, interesting. Retreat and recharge. That's a beautiful energy. Hermit, 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 hermit. Hermie the hermit. Take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. The Hermit card is one of solitude and meditation. It represents your capacity to go within and arrive at the cave of your heart. Many of the answers to your problems lie within, and if you don't take the time to connect to within yourself and feel comfortable alone, you won't be able to hear the messages that are rising up inside of you. The cross-legged meditation pose of the cave-dwelling sadhu on the card is an invitation to harness the power of your meditation practice. The Sira Yantra symbol, sorry, I really botched that, behind him represents the union of masculine and feminine energies, hence support from Mother and Father God. You have been working hard and giving your all to your current situation. It may be becoming draining and detrimental to your development unless you retreat and recharge your energies. So you are being guided to step back at this time. If you are working on bringing something together, your overall involvement can impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do that could have a larger impact on your life, spend some time in deep thought, even contemplation, before moving forward. Often when we rush in, we don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. It's interesting that as much as there was talking about this retreating and meditating, these new Pisces cards were very much about that. Meditate and contemplate and balance spirituality and practicality. All right, Sagittarius. Well, that was a lovely reading. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.